Hey guys, this is Jamin again with another video in the web app with Flask series. So in this video, we'll be adding a database to our to our web app. So hey, let's get started. So let's register. We add in this date of birth and passport. So when we submit, it only appears in our server. But how do we want to save it to a database? That'll be easy. Check out check out this. So I create a new identity is equal Sharon, uh, date of birth, and so when I submit it, it's being added to the table to go Sharon. Like if you see, I created another one. This is the ID of it in database, first name, last names, date of birth, address. But this one, it just give me data successfully submitted. And not only does it store it in the database, but also Duko Shanz, right? Duko Shanzon and okay. So now what do we do? What print? So let's quickly open up our Explorer. So I've opened an Explorer up. Let's quickly open up the Explorer and navigate to where it is being stored. Mine is on the desktop, um, tutorials, um, slash tutorial. So let's open up the command prompt here and type in code to open the Visual Studio Code. Okay, that's nice. So what is the problem? First of all, there's a lot of things we have to do. So firstly, let's create a models.py. Now, this is where we are going to store our model, like the model for the database. Um, I can see, let me pull it up. It's the like comparison of files here. There are much. So, uh, excuse me, I just want to open up the finished project so you see the amount of files. So let's compare. So firstly, this model is not going to be out, see main.py, and then a new folder called identity, which holds our templates folder and our database file, and init.py, forms, models, and route. So basically, we're going to split this whole thing up. It's not going to be the same. So use the server because not to get any mistakes or anything. So what we are going to start up with is going to be basic. We've created the models.py. Now let's visit this other models.py and see what it has for us. So if you come to the models.py here, come here to the models.py here, look what it has for from identity, what, what all of this, and then okay, so if say from identity what DB, so this is identity, and then since it's not say from identity dot, email file, we go straight to the init.py because that's like the core of the package. And you see the variable named d, which is SQL alchemy. That is another thing we need to install. So quickly head over to your terminals. If you are doing this in a virtual environment, make sure it's activated, and then all you just need to do is pip install install go no Flask go already installed. Make sure you've installed that. So once you are done with that, you after having so let's head over to our Visual Studio Code and create an init.py. Okay, right now, let's say split all of this up later. Let's say I I can do better. Okay, so now we can split it up and have this init.py. So for now, what we just have to do is after you do flask app equals to flask name, we do app.com. Okay, this is for the secret key, but we can no, let's not do that now. Do that in another way. So firstly, to make this work simpler for us, we need to create that new folder. I then make the work simpler, and then move. And now I then have to other files to get head over to our Visual Studio. Let's have forms. That was forms. The form, yes, forms.py and routes.py. So let's start with forms.py, routes.py. And for the database, create itself manually and automatically. And then most important of the package, most important file in the package file. This is the most important file as a result that this is like the core code. So this has to be created if you want your package to work well. So now if you look at the main.py, this place, see that is just my identity db import create app. I've just this like to run the server. So this is easy. Just need to get this end and this. So that'll be excuse me. So we need to move this to the route.py, whole thing, the route.py. But also we need to import Flask and the various models. So if you come back here to the routes.py, what did import? There are some imports we did not use, like OS, bill, current app. So let's only import what we need and Basically, this is what we need. So Control C and then Control V. So basically, this is what we'll need. We won't use all of these, but get just so we've import we've imported this, but now it's showing us an error here. App is not defined. So if you look at the route.py, you'll notice that instead of at app that identity, we'll be using something called a blueprint. Now this blueprint, eh, it, like you see, it's an object that allows defining application functions without requiring an application object ahead of time. So instead of that application object to be in like the, the file, the routes file that you're using, you can use blueprints. So what if, for example, you have identity DB in that same Flask, and then you also have another app in Flask file that has to do another thing. Find the app function in there will be much. But then with this function, the identity DB function, you can call it in app. So let's say this is an identity DB app. Then there's a store to purchase something. You can do the store. Maybe it changes store. So that is what it does. It just helps to clarify. So let's quickly get this. And don't forget to import it too. Don't forget to import all of this. So render template, blueprint, and request. Blueprint and request. So right. So you have to change this app, Control F and identity and going, going. That's all. Yes, that's all. So Control S. Right. The route.py is in form. Now this init.py. What do we do? Well, after we copy this route.py, delete it, then time for this. Now this is where that is contain all our information for the database that we'll be working on. So and also the app equals to Flask name will be here. Okay. So get this and then start from there. So let's yes, what Flask. But so we'll create a function that will be create app. Now in this function, like look into here, has this app equals to Flask app name and then app.conf for the secret key. Now this secret key, keep yours secret. This is just a rubbish I just typed in. This is what like the authentic like the authenticator is part of those authenticator functions. Don't put the Flask will alert you that there's no secret key and need a secret. So make sure this secret key is a well guarded piece of secret. That's something I learned. So let's show you to generate a top secret key. So after importing secret, what you do is let's call a key function and do key equals um read dot token x and print key. So see this. So let's say we dot token x key, new digit. Now you have a couple of new digits. That so at this point, you can also store since it's a secret. can store it in environment variable as an environment variable. Talk of those in later videos, but for now let's just keep moving. So after we're done with that, come to our Flask app. I can easily just copy this to save time. And copy this to save time to copy this. No, sorry. Before we let's start here. So come here and paste. Now this piece of code I will explain them as we start. So we need to import SQL Alchemy. So as you can see how to import it from Flask SQL Alchemy, import from import SQL Alchemy to import it. This is the database engine we'll be using. And then inconsistent use of tabs. Now to fix this problem, if you ever encounter this type of problem, just do this, this, how I fix it. All gone. Okay, so now we've done this. You can now easily come here and say from identity dot git git app. So app was git app. Wonderfully articulate. So we're almost done. And then we register this blueprint. Now, what are we registering? We are saying from identity db.route import identity, which means from here we import this identity blueprint and we register IE to the Flask web app. So now we have registered it, recognized, so we can use it. But without registering it, it won't be recognized. Now back here to app.config the secret key. We are adding the secret key to the app. This secret key can make it more secret than by adding zero numbers, zero something, zero hashtag, dollar sign, make it secret, whatever. Then the database URI. So what you just have to do is this line of code. Now what this is doing is you are creating the database. Like this is the database dot that is the name of the file, and then like the location. We'll get to those things. So this database URI, copy this line of code. You can call your database anything. You can call it identity db.db. Just don't forget the .db part. I like to call it database. So don't also forget this is very important. SQLite is SQLite. I think this semicolon then this. So just finish up with this, and then when you are done, let's look in case we are missing anything, and then um route.py, we imported okay the models.py. Now this is where things get interesting. Database. So first of all, create the models.py, do from identity db import db. Then we're going to create the class, and then we're going to call it star in bracket. I think that, let me check. db.model to db.model. Wonderful. Like this. So like knew what I was going for. So write db.model in here and this. So id first, and pardon me, but very important, we have to do this. So we create and do db.integer and make it a primary key. Primary key meaning that we don't need to change anything to automatically to add in those values, all those integers to auto increment. They just do primary key equals. So next we are looking for is the first The next thing we are looking for is the first name. We just do first name equal to db dot colon open bracket um that is db dot string, yes, db dot string. Then how many strings can we take? So first name is going to pass 8, right? I think it's 80 I put here. Yeah, 8. So finish with that. Go, what is the next one? The name. Last name equals db. So save time since we've copied this. And then next, after first, date of birth, address, passport. So and as well just do so after first, last name, date of birth, address. Okay, save it. And then this will be like when calling the user for the user class. This will be like the representative, take it as that, what will come out, information, because you can't bring out all this information, of course you can't bring them out. It's going to be so guys, save it. Now we are done with the models.py. What we'll do next is um is to is to run this and see if it still works, not just to jump database area like that. Let's check if it actually works. So let's say for example, come to the main.py, because we can't run it in the routes.py anymore because this app.run won't run it. So it's in this file. So we come here, let's run the file. Okay. If you notice, there was a movement here. If you looked here, there was a movement, and you come back to Flask tutorial. Um, yes, here, and you open there. Okay, the some new file, a new file was formed. This py cache, meaning that something is actually going on. So there's an error sign here, an error here, sorry, that says cannot import name from identity. So let's go to identity. That is init.py. So it cannot import the name db because db is inside a function. So it's going to be very hard for it to get it out of that function. Don't declare it as a global variable. Instead of doing this, let's just call and do global d and db, global db. So let's run it again. Main.py, run it. Okay, now you see the server has started, no problems. So that actually worked. Um, So let's run. Now we are running this. Running, check everything, populate this, my my name again, date of birth, 12, where was. So let's choose a file. Yes, and okay, so everything works perfectly. Check where is it running in. Yeah, yes, everything came in well. So it looks like you're going to create something again. Okay. Now to store it in the database, imported the what else do we do? We need to create that because right now the database is not created. Check the file, you're not seeing any dot here, but if you come to the other finished project and you check the identity, the database file here. So which means we need to create that database file, that database. So what do well, come here, let's open, let's do Python, and then we do from identity import db. Okay, I'm not import from identity. Hmm, hmm, that's a problem. So if global this thing won't fix, just have to app save. Now let's run that again. Still not working. Shut it down and okay, now it's working. Now it's what else do we need to do? From identity dot model, we need to import that class called user. So we okay, everything works. Now we can do check what is database user dot query dot call. Okay, what is telling us? Telling us do such table as, so we need to create that table. And how do we do that? We do db dot create all. No error. Let's try that again. And you see giving us an empty list, meaning that it's actually working. But if we populated this class as in the database, you see what we populated here. Don't get it called, and let's end it. Then go back to the database and then the route.py. We need to create something. We do a user variable and then we do capital user from that models, because if you look up here, we imported it from the models. So we do a user close open bracket close bracket. Then we need to add all this information: first name, last name, dob, address and passport. For id, it is automatic. The primary key is automatically fill up, so we don't need to add that. What we need to say, first name equals to f name. Yes, so you get it. Last name equals to l name. um um dob equals to dob and So um passport, passport, passport. So after that, what else do we do? We now need to call the database db.session.add bracket. We add to the database, but does this mean it's added to the database? No, we need to commit dot session dot commit, nothing added. So with this, the surebed database will be on the okay, no module named identity. Run it. Okay, it's now working. Database in construction. So let's go back. All those data we put in, let's submit. Data registered successfully. So far, it's telling us data registered successfully, meaning that it crossed this final step that it is added to the database. How do we know it's added to the database? Let's go back to where it was. Let's bring back Python. Let's import all the things we need to import. Yes, that.query.all. You see, what you are seeing here is this rep. This represents everything we are working with. So let's say I have a variable called user equals user.query dot first. Now I see user dot first name, user dot last name, user dot um date of birth, user dot address, user passport, and even user dot ID. Just the ID of the data in the database of this user. And you see everything came out. But in that original part when you did dot query, you see that only Jamin, that is first name, last name, and address that came out. Because of this, we did this to only as in it like represents for the database this. So we can change it up and put first and last name with date of birth, something like that. So that is the database for you. But now, remember in the old database, if I run it, it had a slash data section which showed all the users. But here, if you do, once you registered here, it automatically send you to a slash data section. But here, it does not. It gives us data successfully submitted. So if you type in data 404, how do we fix that? You remember routing, you followed this series. You remember routing, so we need to create a new route and slash data section, the route here. Let's go to route by now this route, see it slash data. So it's very easy. In fact, you see that there is no much work here. All we have to do our life here and to waste our time. So let's come to where this data successfully submitted is usually located. Okay, Let's come here, okay, and say after it works, instead of returning data successfully submitted, we return wrong, because that's the name of the function. So we call that function, which we can also do redirect, but let's go with congrats for now. Talk of redirecting in another video. So now we need a data.html file. So let's come to, you see the database dot created. You see, that's wonderful. Eh? We're getting somewhere. We come and do data.html. Wonderful. Eh? So this data.html, what do we need? Just like register.html, need all this information. So we can just go ahead and copy this beginning from here, and okay. So right here the body. Let's see, what do we need? Well, if you are good in HTML, can fix it up, but I did nothing much, just created a div, then a form, method post. Then what I actually was create a legend. Um, sorry, that's not it. Yes, right here I got this from W3 tool style to make it more stylish and better. So I can pause the video right now and kind of like make your way. So let me make it there. So you can copy this. I hope you are copying this style from beginning to end, from here to here. Copy it up. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste, and then this table format. Once you copy the style, it's easy to work with tables. So if I paste it, um better. So you notice that there are some other key things here. Template, I'll talk of that later, but you copy this style, make sure you copied it well. Don't forget table to add it. I'm not a web developer, so I'm not good in all this. I just copied it from the website. So now create a table tag. You do this table row, then table header for the head, like the header for each column, the header. So you have ID, last name, address, passport. Now to get all the information in the database one by one, to get all of them one by one is not easy, because come here, come here, you see that after the headers, you need to get naming to all of this out of the database one by one. So um let's go to here. So what I did was I called this in a curly braces and then a parenthesis, then another curly braces at the end and then another parenthesis. And then what I did, I called in for users in users. Now what that does is, see in the routes.py, I created variable users, putting it inside the render template, which means in this template data.html, I can use that variable user, users, sorry, users, yeah, users. So and what is here? Value is user, which is this user.query.all. So it's literally saying user.query.all, then loop through each of them. That is for users, using a for off loop to loop through the users, and then adding user.id, that is the ID, just like we did in just like we did here, user.firstname, user, but instead of doing user.first like I did here, I did user.query.all, which means if there are more data here, like only one data for just Jamie's favor, there are other users here, it will group each of them. And for each of them, that's like doing that user.first. For each of them, it gets the ID, last name, user.passport, user.address, and they are well placed under their respective headers to make sure that works. So if we run this now, what yes, let's can even go back and let's put in the dot data, the slash data, slash data. Wonderful, and you've seen just like we have it now. There are more. You register a data, register. So let's register a new user. Let's say um Mark Henry, and for address can be 12 with which the file. Let's go with and let's submit. Voila, entered. All entered. See that slash register. So there are still some things I don't like here. I see the title is data here. Why this register new data? All those small things. You can just come and pick them up. Let's go here where you have title and just data. So somehow I hope this video was helpful to change. This video was helpful to you to understand how databases work. We looked at blueprinting, using the blueprint, how we separated everything, how the models.py was on their own, forms.py, have nothing forms.py. So okay, we don't forms.py, but we have models.py, have it on its own, the register.html, and then we also learned the nifty of adding of running Python, this Python code, like you say for loop. That is what the Ginger 2 templating allows you to do, which comes the Ginger 2 templating comes with Flask, allows you to do more than this. This is like calling the variable, and then this is for running those operations, all those operations like for loop. Yes. So then we also learned in the init.py how to create a database. Like you see app.config, see the name of the database, which you can see here, database, and then from the route, so how to add data in the database. Hopefully in the next video, maybe in the next video, we'll, we'll learn how we can delete and also update information in the database. So my main aim for these videos are building this CRUD functionality in Python, which is create, read, update, delete. So far, we can create and we can read. We cannot update and delete. Hopefully, in the next video, we'll learn to do that. Please, I would appreciate it if you like the video, subscribe to our channel, turn on the bell icon, and get ready for other videos because you like and subscribe will be notified when I drop new videos like the continuation to the series. So please like and subscribe. Thank you all for your time. Have a nice day.